CJ Stroud went from having one of the best rookie seasons in NFL history to looking like an absolute bust after having one of the worst postseasons in NFL history. Let's dive in the film and see if we can figure out what's wrong with CJ Stroud. First play of the game, we had a really bad week against Pittsburgh last week, so we're going to come out and we're going to fake the play action, going to roll the pocket out this way, and we're going to just have an easy boot concept. We're going to fake like we're blocking the edge right here. Then we're going to cut out on his speed out, and CJ's job is to just hit him in stride right here. Let's pick up 6 or 7 yards, get ahead of the sticks early, and obviously it's rainy, but Stroud just completely missed this throw. Let's check it out from the end zone view to see why he missed it. Okay, I want you to pay attention to a few things here. First, weather conditions awful. We understand that. But see Stroud kind of take this pump fake right here? Well, that obviously takes him out of his rhythm a little bit. Pump fakes, throws it behind him. So what I look at there for a quarterback, yes, awful conditions. He wipes his pants right afterwards, but looks like he was unsure of himself when he first went to throw it. Maybe the receiver didn't get his head to him quick enough, but Stroud was uncomfortable making the throw, finally made it, left it behind him. Okay, right here we got a 3rd and 7, first third down of the game. We get up to the line really quick here, and we try to no-huddle them because we know that New England likes to run some complicated blitz packages and stunts on third downs, especially third and mediums where it's guaranteed passing situation. So we get up to the line quick, come out in this 3-by-1 formation, 11 personnel, and we're going to run our tight end on a crosser, and our receiver over here on a crosser, and we're going to have this outside receiver, the Y out here that you can't really see, on a go ball, and then we're going to run this little quick curl right here. Works perfectly, right? Because they're showing us one high safety. They're not quick to line up on these receivers, which tells us, hey, we got zone coverage. So Christian Kirk's job right here is to sit in the open space on this curl, get to him quick. CJ Stroud does a great job right there. Christian Kirk almost gets that ball intercepted. That's terrible by him and something that you hate to see. Okay, on this next play right here, sorry it's a little blurry and it's started a little bit late. So we see here that CJ Stroud's changing the play at the line right here. He realizes something, does a great job here pre-snap. He gets the 2nd and medium situation on his 2nd and 8. He realizes, hey, this safety's buzzed down. We got one high. We got head up leverage all across. It's telling him we've got cover 1 across the board. So he wants to take a shot. He wants to go one-on-one on this outside right here with Jaden Higgins. Really tall, great receiver. So we're going to just run him on a fade. Mandatory outside release right here to get away from this safety. And we just have to throw this ball back shoulder or over the shoulder to really give our receiver a chance to win, just depending on the leverage of the DB right here. But this is an awful pass by CJ Stroud. It's difficult in the weather conditions, but that should be a pick. You cannot leave that ball inside. Let's look at it from the end zone view to see just how bad of a football it was. You see here once again, CJ Stroud is getting us into this play. Everyone else is pretty much just a distraction on this play. No one's running an actual route. We just got this go ball, and look how far inside and low he leaves that. That should be a pick 1,000 out of 1,000 times. Okay, right here we've got their best play of the day on offense, but I think it was still a bad play by CJ Stroud overall from a quarterback grading perspective. And we come out here in this gun split back formation, so we got a tight end and a running back in the backfield. Come out in this 2-by-1 formation right here. We're going to motion over 19 Xavier Hutchinson, and we're going to run this switch release right here. So we're going to go inside, and we're going to run this kind of crosser right here short, and then what we're going to do is we're going to take this guy behind him, and we're going to run a dig. And the reason we want to do this is we see right here they got 2 high safeties on the field, so that tells us we've probably got cover 4. Worst case, this guy looks a little shallower, so maybe he drops down and takes away this crosser. Well, then all we have to do is hit this dig against either this guy who's playing a third or this guy who's playing a quarter over here. He's going to have outside leverage, so we take our advantage right here. We should step up in this pocket, and we should fire this ball in to this guy if no one covers him, and if someone takes him away, then we should have this dig 10 out of 10 times right here. And check this out by Stroud. Okay. You see, wants to take this underneath crosser right here, and it's not open. So what's going to come open is this deep dig right here, right? It's going to open up, and we need to be ready to fire it in right here, okay? So we should be getting ready in the next half second to pull the trigger on this throw. What Stroud's going to do instead, and this screams a lack of confidence to me, he's going to step up and go to run in the pocket because he doesn't trust that he can make the throw, but then he realizes, hey, if I take off, this guy has to step to me right here, and as soon as he steps to me, I'm just going to layer this out here to Dalton Schultz. He'll run up the sideline. Great play out of structure by CJ Stroud, but we need him to execute on the big plays in structure. That's a 25-yard throw that we should have had, but unfortunately, we have to take something out of structure instead. Great play overall, but terrible execution on the play that was called. Okay, on this next, we're going to come out here in a 3-by-1 trips formation. Going to motion our receiver over, run another boot concept right here, and that's a heck of a play by CJ Stroud. Screams confidence, but the reason I don't love it is because this is is the exact same type of situation that was a pick later in the game. So just keep that in your mind right here. Okay, this next play right here to me is horrific, and I think it's one of his worst plays of the game. Nothing too bad happens from it, but let me show you why it's so bad. So we start out in this 3-by-1 formation. We got this dirty bunch and this kind of condensed set where we got our tight end as the bunch. We're going to motion over Christian Kirk right here. And when we motion over Christian Kirk, we're going to end up running this play where we're exploiting the numbers game on their defense. What do I mean by that? So they have one underneath defender on this part of the field unless we've got Tampa 2. It looks, though, to me that they're in cover 4 because this guy's off with his hips facing in and this guy's off with his hips facing in. So we're going to run this concept right here where we run a hitch over the ball right here and we run this quick flat route right here to Dalton Schultz. Kind of the same thing on the other side too, except we're going to go hitch, skinny post, but really we've identified that it's zone, and because we've identified that it's zone, we're going to work this left side of the field, and we're going to work this defender specifically. He goes to take the flat, we take the hook. He takes the hook, we take the flat. And watch Stroud, see what he does, and still throw an awful pass right there. And it's almost picked off. That is terrible quarterbacking. It screams lack of confidence, or either I'm told what to do pre-snap and I'm doing it every time instead of reading the field and taking what the defense is giving me. But this next play goes completely against the last one. CJ Stroud still has it in him. It just has to consistently show up, and I think he needs his confidence to show that. You see right here, going to come out in the 2-by-2 formation right here. 11 personnel, going to motion the tight end over from out wide. So we got this twins formation right here. And what we're going to do is we know that they're either bringing the house on us or they're going to drop back and run some form of zone, probably some type of Tampa 2 or cover 2, something like that, right? So we're going to have Christian Kirk sit right here in this little hook. We're going to have a post, a skinny post, bang 8, whatever you want to call it, to kind of make sure he's left open right here. So we want to kind of carry whatever defender right here out of this play, and if this defender sits on him, we have the skinny post right here in this window for a touchdown, right? And I really want you to focus on this because what we're also going to do is we're going to take this running back to the flat right here, and this kind of creates, once again, a key defender read. Whatever linebacker drops right here, if it's zone, either takes the running back or takes the hitch. We take the opposite, and he does a great job learning from that last play. Hits the open guy this time. You love to see it. Great throw, great catch right there. Okay, we're going to have another successful play, you would call it, right here down near the red zone. I think CJ Stroud, once again, shows lack of confidence in himself and his ability and his teammates right here. Let's check it out. We're going to have another boot play. We're going to motion Christian Kirk over right here, getting this condensed formation. Motion over Hutchinson again. Put him right here. And what I want you to pay attention to is I want you to pay attention to Higgins right here. He's going to have this crosser that's going to this back pylon right here, right? And watch Stroud just... Usually you're supposed to work high to low on these type of plays because that's the play design. We want to take this guy right here and run him to this back pylon, and we just want to float the ball over these defenders and put it right here on this S, but obviously a little bit farther back, right? And Stroud is going to not even look at that. He's going to try to outrun this defender to the sideline, try to make this guy step down on him so that he can throw it in right here to Dalton Schultz. Dalton Schultz almost scores for us here, but this is one where we've just got to keep our eyes up and fire this ball right here to this back corner pylon for a wide open touchdown. And instead, put ourselves at the 1-yard line. I think we end up scoring on this drive, but that's just, once again, a lack of confidence from CJ Stroud. Okay, right here on this next play, once again, we actually don't end up scoring a touchdown on this drive. We get a false start right there. We're on the 1, and we get pushed back 5 yards. And this, once again, screams to me lack of self-confidence. So in this tight red zone area right here, looks like we're getting zone coverage, specifically cover 2, because we see this outside shaded DB on this outside. Obviously, we get destroyed by crossers, so probably going to be that, right? We're going to have this kind of 3-by-1 formation right here. Going to motion over Christian Kirk. He widens out even more, which pretty much confirms to us, yeah, we got this cover 2 look right here. And this is a pretty cool concept that we have called up right here. Going to run Jaden Higgins on this crosser that turns back into a corner, back to this back pylon. We really ideally want to hit this directly when he gets onto this P, because that would put him in between this safety if he bites on the crosser and in between this flat defender. No room for it to get picked off. He settles in that open space. We throw it, touchdown, right? And the reason that's going to work so well is we're going to run this fake out that turns back into a zig, also called a pivot route right there. And I really just want you to pay attention this deep corner that he's going to stare down, because we're going to have crosser right here, just in case they're giving us man coverage, you know. Always got to have that to kind of conflict with man coverage right here. But look at this, just stares it down, looks off of it. Why are we looking off of it? We got confirmed pre-snap and post-snap that they're in zone coverage. and we look off to it and we waste the play, got to kick a field goal. Screw yourself out of 4 points because you didn't trust your eyes and what you were seeing. Okay, but then we got plays like this where I'm just like, I feel bad for CJ Stroud. Like, this offense cannot execute at all. So we're going to take our wide receiver right here and we're going to run him on this dig right here, the shorter dig, right? We want to get on top of the linebacker, underneath the safeties. We want to fire it in there, anticipate the throw if it's open, pick up a decent gain right here, pick up the first down, really. That's what we're hoping for, at least getting close to it, right? Watch this. So I want you to pay attention to Woody Marks right here. He's pressed up to the line of scrimmage and supposed to be, I don't know if he's supposed to be kick blocking, whatever. We missed the throw, right? You're like, man, that's bad by CJ Stroud. Looks like he should have thrown another interception. Let's look at it from the end zone view. Like I mentioned, pay attention to Woody Marks. So I don't know what's called up for him to block right here. But I would think, based on the concept, we would need him to handle any interior pressure that we might be getting. So you think we're putting him right here, and we're saying, hey, either kick out here and block this guy if he comes and bull rushes our guard right there, or if this guy blitzes, stay home in the middle, block him up, handle him, right? Well, I want you to watch what Woody Marks does right here. I mean, this is horrific. He's going to fake the bluff blitz right here. He's going to take off running to the right, trip on his own O-lineman. O-lineman gets shoved back into CJ's face because the running back just tripped him, and then CJ's going to throw a hospital ball to our receiver. This is just awful, awful, awful execution right there by Woody Marks, and whatever that play call was, either he didn't hear it right or that was just awful. Okay, this next play, though, great play by CJ Stroud. So you see they're running this double A-gap pressure right here, mug look, whatever you want to call it, right? And what CJ Stroud's job is right here is to say, hey, if they drop, we've got to find a hole in the zone. If they don't drop and they come after us, we got to get this ball out within 2 seconds, and we've got to hit our receiver. We're going to have this mesh concept called up right here. We got 2 crossers underneath, and then we're going to have this guy on a deep out to the sticks, right? You'd hope that you'd have just enough time to hit one of these mesh routes right here, get a pick, and maybe pick up a huge gain right here, right? But worst case, you get to your back foot, you drift a little bit backwards, and you put this ball right on the sidelines for this receiver. That's exactly what CJ Stroud's going to do, and this is a great job hanging in there and firing it, right? Now, me personally, I would love for him to hang in there and hit Hutchinson right here over the middle, because you're going to get this natural pick on that DB. His hips are flipped, and that's going to allow you to take this and maybe go, cut it upfield. But Stroud is doing something that I also really love, which is making sure that this ball can't get batted down, right? There's a chance if we throw this right here, this guy just comes in and throws that hand up and gets lucky and hits it, right? So he does a great job right here, leading his guy to the sticks on the sideline. This is a great ball. Incredible catch right here too, though, by Jaden Higgins, finally getting him involved. Guy on this next play right here, this is probably one of the worst picks I've seen in quite a while, honestly. What do we have here? Well, the defense comes out and clearly what looks to be cover 4 from my perspective, right? 2 safeties, middle of the field, tighten down, right? 2 outside leverage corners playing about 10 yards off. That tells us 9 out of 10 times we got cover 4, unless maybe we buzz down right here. Whatever. This is where someone like Kyle Shanahan or one of those offensive coordinators comes in and they run a hook over the ball, and you run a dig in right behind them, and then you run a skinny post right here or bang gate, and you really exploit these deeper safeties, force them to step up so that you can take advantage of it later in the game. But the Texans dial up something a little bit different here. It's kind of an interesting concept, honestly. And we're going to run this just like little hitch right here that turns into a wheel route. Right? We're going to fake the hitch kind of, and we're going to turn it into a fade to the sideline. And then we're going to run this kind of fake corner post. But instead of him turning into a post, he kind of just stays vertical right here. It's kind of one of those cover 4 beating posts that you run from your outside receiver. Kind of like the concept. I would like it more against cover 2, honestly, than cover 4, and I think this was obviously cover 4 pre-snap, but everything works. We don't block it up the best, honestly. Like, we get everyone blocked up, but, it's the Texans, so everyone isn't blocked up. But the most important thing I want you to notice here is we've got a fairly clean pocket. I would like CJ Stroud to throw this thing, either anticipate the throw, realize that he's flat-footed and his leverage is turned inside, and just chunk it up, but I don't think we're hitting that throw, right? Especially not from this position we're in now. Or you've got to fire this thing in there like right now, got to put it right there because he's already got his feet flat right here, right? Like, there's not many places we can put this ball where it's not going to be a pick is kind of what I'm saying. But what you see Stroud does here is he's kind of fading away as he's throwing it, which is going to cause his shoulders to tilt back a little, which is going to leave the ball and let it flow up right here for kind of the easiest pick of Carlton Davis's life, right? Like, there's just no shot that that's ever completion. A lot of people are like, maybe if he puts a better ball in him. No, that's just a terrible throw to make, especially from that fading away spot right there. Okay, here I think once again we have one of Stroud's best balls of the day. It was like his most success he found is probably what they schemed up for all week, or schemed up to beat, I should say, which is these just all-out pressures from New England, where they just come in and they try to just say, hey, beat us, right? And try to confuse your O-lineman and get someone home free. And we're going to have, once again, that same type of thing we had earlier, where we're just going to have this corner right here, and we're going to have a drag or a slant underneath it, and we're letting Stroud pick, hey, you got to get to your back foot and get this ball out, but whoever's open, throw it. And what I always love to say is you can't guard a perfect ball. So if Stroud and Kirk are on the same page and they've been working at this all week, which is as soon as you get out of your break, I'm leading you to the sideline, putting it out wide, and you need to go up and get it, then that's what you throw every single time. But if you don't have that type of trust in your receiver and that type of chemistry with him, you throw this drag, right? Well, Stroud's going to once again take this corner with a different receiver, hit that back foot, ball's out. That's a heck of a ball. Why do we not see the same CJ Stroud throughout the whole game? Why is it only on the stuff that it looks like he's rehearsed and game planned all week long, all season long? But I think they just need to continue to remind him who he is and get him a better O-line to protect him and really help him gain that confidence back like Bryce Young has in Carolina. Okay, this is that pick on that boot I talked about earlier. You see, we know they're running a boot because they motion the guy early like they do on pretty much every one of their boot plays. They try to mix it up, but what they typically do is they'll motion this guy over. If they have the boot called up and they see they've got zone coverage, they stick with it. If they motion the guy over and they see they got zone and they didn't have a boot called up, they change it to it, right? So Stroud changes this right here. Run this boot concept right here. This is just an awful play. Like, we cannot fall down right here. And then Stroud, once we fall down, take the sack, throw it out of bounds. You have a defense that's going to keep you in football games unless you put yourself out of football games. Is this open? Yes, it is. But guess what? You don't even have the ball pulled back and there's a guy already bearing down on you. Duck under it, take the sack or break it. Do not try to pull this fadeaway garbage that we saw you do earlier in the game and throw a pick six and lose your team the game. The fact they still had a chance after this is crazy. I mean, that's awful. Okay, what I'm starting to notice from this film study, and you'll see it on this play, Stroud played decent against the blitz. Like, he understood where to get the ball to when he was getting blitzed, but it's every other time. And it's his lack of confidence at pushing the ball down the field against zone, and his trust in his O-lineman when he's not getting blitzed, and he can't just get to that back foot and get it out instantly, right? So here we're going to have that same thing we kind of did earlier, motion out this tight end, see they're blitzing, right there, boom, find him in that soft spot in the zone, great. Okay, this is other pick right here that we're going to take a look at, and they finally do what I've been calling for them to do all game, right? They give you these looks where looks like cover 3, cover 4 pre-snap. It's going to end up being man here, but hey, just run a quick little short dig, about 8 yards, right underneath the safeties, get the ball out, anticipatory throw right here. Stroud can do it, and let's pick up some yards, right? Help our run game out a little bit. Well, Stroud's going to make the throw. Going to leave it a little high. That's something you can't do when you're anticipating a throw over the middle to a receiver who's just getting their head back to you, but it's rainy, whatever, it's understandable. Was receiver ends up dropping it also because of the rain probably, and we throw another pick. Don't really blame that one on Stroud. Partly on the receiver, partly on Stroud. Stroud, you can't throw a ball high over the middle. That's rule number 1 for QBs. And for the receiver, he's got plastic gloves on in a rainy football game. Okay, on this next one, coming on this 2x2 twins formation again, 1 running back in the backfield, 11 personnel. Motioning Christian Kirk right here. And we're just going to run this really good concept, in my opinion, against man coverage. Obviously, we didn't really know it was man pre-snap. Maybe they did, but the Patriots did a great job not giving that away, right? Looked like cover 3 for a while. Turn into man. We're just going flat right here. And then we'll run this deep curl to the sticks because we got 2nd and 14. All right, we got to pick this up. Maybe in their prior film study, they realized on the and longs, they like to run man. Who knows, right? So Stroud's going to do a great job, though. You see we give him a clean pocket right here, gets to that back foot, fires it with a little bit of anticipation, leaves it low so nothing can happen to it. Great job there by CJ Stroud. Man, I'm going to be honest. I think CJ Stroud just can't run a boot play. And it's so weird. This game plan was so predicated on let's constantly run boots, move the pocket, give you some easy completions. And I think 5 out of his worst 8 plays out of this entire game were on boots. We're going to come out here again. We're going to motion the tight end in. You see, it's like every time we motion someone in, we're running a boot. Kind of a small tail for the defense, right? Whatever. But we motion this tight end in. Gonna run this boot out to the outside right here. And man, we're late to it. We throw it inside. We leave it inside. CJ Stroud right there, you can just tell. Like, over it. Lost all of his confidence in that very moment right there. That's just awful to see. Let's look at it from the end zone view, because, I mean, this is bad. I mean, it was obviously in the intro clip, but once again, you see here, motion the guy in. See, we got zone coverage. Change out to this boot play. Man, that's just a bad ball. Bad decision, too. Okay, once again here, they're showing us pre-snap man coverage, right? Head up on the receiver. Head up on the receiver. Playing off, though. Head up. You see we brought that leverage back in. Got one high safety right here. We got this safety who's kind of buzzing down, looking like he's going to play a robber, or he's in man with this tight end right here. Don't really know, but we'll confirm all that pre-snap. But love the concept we're going to have called up right here. Just going to have this quick little dig, bang, gate, whichever one, I can't really tell by how the wide receiver runs it. And then that's going to take away the single high safety, or it's going to be open. And because of that, we're going to run our wide receiver on right here on just this kind of fade route right here where we have a ton of room to go outside because we're running this to the boundary side, but we have this kind of condensed formation when we do it, right? So really good stuff here by CJ Stroud. Just going to throw it back shoulder after we motion that guy out wide, and that tells we got man coverage. Great throw, great catch. Obviously, the dig was open over the middle. Might have been a little bit of push off there, but great ball, great catch. Way to trust your wide receiver right there. Here we're going to have a sack on CJ Stroud, and I just want to show you how bad his role players did play for him in this game, right? He played awful, but it wasn't just on him, right? So we're going to have some chip help right here on the end right here. We're going to slide our protection all the way right with everybody, and then we're going to take this tight end, put him in motion. He's just going to crack down on this lineman. His one job right here is do not get beat to the inside, right? Your wide receiver is going to help push him in, and you just need to wall him off, right? We just got to create a wall for Stroud right here. He needs to get to his back foot and hit this guy on this little curl right here, right? Obviously, it looks like they thought it was cover 4 right here. Ends up being cover 3 because this guy buzzes down like we see all too common in the modern NFL. But watch Dover right here. Just completely whiffs. Right, so Stroud gets sacked right there, no shot. Okay, right here, 3rd and 7, stack the line of scrimmage again, and we're going to once again give our guy a shot, one-on-one. Looks like the exact same play from earlier, right? Motion that guy on the outside out a little bit, get him isolated against cover 1, draw the flag, right? He can beat man coverage one-on-one. He can't beat zone right now. Man, I'm going to be honest, I feel so bad for Jaden Higgins in this game. Like, he should have had the game of his life in the playoffs against the Patriots. He should have been the hero against the Patriots. Texans legend if he does it, right? We're going to have him on this fade ball right here on this outside. No deep safety, right? Just chunk it up, give him a chance on 2nd and 6. You love to take a shot play right here, right? 3-by-1 formation, got a bunch to the other side. Motion him over. See, we got this cover 1 look. Obviously, the safety's going to push to the crosser over the middle that's trying to get to the sticks, right? Stroud's got to hit that back foot and get that ball out right now. That ball has to be out of his hands right now. His guy's got to step, keep it at a 40-yard throw. Bad weather game, but you have the advantage. I don't know if you can see here because it's YouTube, but the snow's falling this way, so we have our advantage right there. The wind's blowing that way, and watch Stroud. Wait. Now he gets rid of it, so now the receiver is already 30 yards down the field as soon as it's leaving our hands. So we got to throw a 55-yard pass right here. In these weather conditions, we underthrow it. Should have been an 80-yard touchdown if we throw it quicker. As soon as we see it, we got to throw it. He waits, lacks a little bit of that confidence I was talking about before, and ends up being incomplete. I'm be honest, this might be one of the worst play calls I've seen. I think, obviously, pre-snap here, I read cover 4 without even playing this through. I'm reading cover 4 right here because I see the safeties giving cushion. Got a 1st and 10 right here. We're up 2 possessions with 5 minutes left. There's no reason for us to give up a whole shot or anything up the middle if we're running cover 2, right? Or even Tampa 2. Maybe Spillane gets back in that zone. And you know what we're going to run right here? Out, 25-yard corner. Out, 25-yard corner. Do you think that's ever beating cover 4? Do you think that a bench concept is ever beating cover 4? No, right? So I want you to watch how absolutely no one gets open. Blocked up perfectly. Man, I don't know what the heck Woody Marks was doing trying to get out on his routes in this game because you're your quarterback's only option. You kind of have an option route right here. You could cut this way. He's looking for you. You settle it on the linebacker right here. Or you cut that way. We'd like to beat him to the inside right here. You just fall down again. Like, I don't know what we were doing here by Woody Marks. That makes Stroud have to step up. Got to throw this football away. Once again, we got a play call here that makes no sense. We got a 3rd and 10. 4 minutes and 50 seconds left. They got people stacked up around the line of scrimmage. And we know here that they're going to be playing back, trying to prevent stuff deep. They might even give us the 1st down right here, honestly. And we're going to call up a concept where our shortest route is going to be 15 yards down the field before he even cuts. Like, this makes no sense. at all that this is what we come up with on 3rd and 10. No sense. Obviously, Stroud's going to get sacked. He's got a mediocre offensive line. You got 2 guys in the backfield trying to block everything up because you caught an awful play call. I mean, right here, what is he supposed to do? No one's even looked at him yet, and there's already a guy in his face. Obviously, there's a guy in his face because it's 3rd and 10 and you ran everything 15 to 20 yards down the field. There is nobody out here or out here. Awful play calling right here. I know, armchair quarterback, Monday morning quarterback, whatever you want to say. That's awful play calling. Okay, final play of the game right here for CJ Stroud. And man, whoever was calling plays for this Patriots defense in this current moment just had an absolute brain fart, trying to get too cute. I don't know what they were doing. But they're going to end up running Tampa 2 right here. So they're showing cover 3 or man coverage pre-snap. They're going to take half. Going to run this linebacker Spillane up the middle on this kind of Tampa 2 look. And we're going to exploit it. We're going to take our fastest receiver, Xavier Hutchinson. Going to run him on this deep post that kind of leans outside for a second so he can't get chucked by any of these zone guys. They're going to just run some over the middle right here to try to hold somebody, make them bite down. And safety with a deep half slips, falls. It's wide open. Throw it right here, CJ. There's nobody on you. And you're still drifting and moving forward, trying to make a 45, 50-yard throw in these weather conditions. Set your feet and throw it. And if you do drift, I know you got the basketball pregame routines going on, but why are you throwing that up like it's a floater? Put something on it. Lead him into the end zone. He has a linebacker on him. No one's catching him, okay? Throw it to the Patriots logo. Just a bad football. Game was already over at this point, but at least make the score look better. We had 6 turnovers as an offense. 2 fumbles, 4 picks. This was awful. CJ Stroud just looks like he has no confidence. Struggles to beat zone coverage. Doesn't trust what he's seeing with his eyes. O-line, not very good consistently at all. I think that's the reason he lost his confidence. CJ's got to execute better. This offense has to execute better. You got to score touchdowns when you get in the red zone. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you.